championship game is Tom Kelly.
Number 15, Jim Bolin, is Don Sorensen. Number 31 is Boyd Batts, and we're ready at center court. The tip controlled by Batts in the backcourt. Bonsick has it for Thornridge. This is Quincy's 20th appearance in state tournament play. They've never won it. They've been a bridesmaid twice, back in 65 and 52. Rebound, Gott, who has played his way into a starting position tonight off a 25-point effort coming off the bench this afternoon. An outstanding play in 3 games. Wisman with difficulty saves it. Moore, the sharpshooter. Battle for the rebound. Sorensen battles it to the pipe. It's out of bounds. It'll go to Quincy. Jack, Vince, Jim, in games we've seen with Thornridge so far, generally within the first 5 minutes, they have dominated the game to the extent that the other team is playing catch-up. It'll be interesting to see how the first 5 go tonight. Long pass, intercepted by Moore.
Great save by him.
Over to Spear, and Spear to Wisman, and the Blue Devils come back on the attack. Minute has gone by in the opening period. No score. Rebound to Rose. Rose leaves it for Buckner. He shovels it up the floor to Dunn. He kicks it. Ball is on the floor. Kicked right back by Wisman, and now Dunn has an opportunity to dribble it ahead over the 10-second line. No score. We've played 1 minute 8 seconds. And there's the first basket as Batts offers a turnaround.
First basket of the game, Boyd Batts.
Boyd Batts had 14 this afternoon, 2-0 in favor of Thornridge. Sorensen. Rebound is off and grabbed by Dunn. Falcons bring it back on the attack. 2-0. Bonsick with the ball, and now we'll pause 5 seconds for station identification. Moore's shot off the back of the rim. Rebound Batts. And as Dunn and Bonsick were breaking down court, Sorensen was right back there with them. In the corner, Bonsick, left-hand push over the rim. Rebound by Rose. Drives underneath. 4-0, Thornridge.
Nice move he put on Bob Spear there to get that bucket.
Presses on against the Quincy Blue Devils, and Wisman brings it up in the backcourt. 6'1" sophomore, this boy, Jack, and he takes very good care of the basketball.
A lot of poise, and he's got to handle the ball against that famed diamond-in-one zone press.
Well, he lived up to his billing. 4-2, Quincy's on the board. Thornridge leads, 5:23 to play in this, the first period of tonight's championship contest. Thornridge trying to make it back-to-back state tournament championships. Under to Batts, puts it up, rebounds it, poked away, whistle. Foul will be called on Sorensen underneath, his first of the game.
Here's the replay on this particular foul. There's the feed in underneath and the collision. And there is where the foul occurred, right in there, and the battle for that rebound. Jack Burmaster, have you noticed that they've moved Bonsick down into the corner and Dunn is bringing the ball down court? That's a change from what they've been doing.
Yes, I have, and I was just trying to figure that out, Jim. And also they've got a high-low post now with Buckner, of course, high and Batts low.
Bonsick picks up the personal foul as Thornridge was putting on the full-court press. And in the exchange, he was hit in the face, but he's going to be all right, and is all right. He'll not come out of the game. He's staying in. Ron Ferguson takes that occasion to talk with
Cheryl Hanks, Tom, talking to Moore.
At the line, Robert Spear. That's his first point of the evening, and it's now a 5-3 ball game. Thornridge leads Quincy. 5 minutes remaining in the first period. Bonsick with the ball. Down the side to Rose. Under to Quinn Buckner. Buckner had 14 this afternoon. Gets 2 now. It's 7-3. Thornridge leading. Moore in heavy traffic. Loses it. Bonsick picks it up. Back come the Falcons. Good pass to Buckner. What hands on Buckner?
He made a great recovery.
He sure did. He actually lost that ball at one time.
Timeout being asked for by Quincy. And Cheryl Hanks knows full well. Goes back to what we said a moment ago, Jack. If you let Thornridge get away in a hurry, you're in big trouble, and Thornridge now leads 9-3 with 4:37 to play. Over 784 high schools around the state make up the membership of the Illinois High School Association. They're joined in the belief that the association provides unity, consistency, and equality in the administration of high school activities. These schools hope you're enjoying this basketball telecast and that you'll support other IHSA activities with your continued interest.
Tom, I was just thinking about Alex Sidarkis, who coached that West Rockford team, the last one to win consecutive titles, and his statement that there is no way we could keep up with these teams today.
No, I think it's safe to assume that as great as the ball clubs of the past were, and this I mean sincerely in no way to demean the great athletes who played and won championships here in this greatest of all high school tournaments. I just believe youngsters today are bigger, stronger, quicker, and above all, better trained, better coached.
And I continue to be amazed at the quickness of the hands on that Buckner.
Moore will inbound the ball. His ball club trails 9-3. Thornridge is hit on 4 of 9. Quincy 1 of 6. That's got underneath. Good move. Forced his way to the basket. Got the bucket. 9-5. Gott's first bucket of the evening. 4:16 to play in the first period. And Thornridge with a 5-point lead. Quinn Buckner. He can really do it all. That's Rose. Rebound underneath. Dunn throws it over the rim. Gott has it. Going to climb back into his sneaker as the ball comes up the court with Wisman. On the side, to Moore, underneath. Bat slaps it away. Some kind of defense. Reached over Sorensen, who's 6'6", and was reaching up in the air for it and just flicked it away.
Jack, have they gone into a 1-2-2, Thornridge now?
Are you talking about offense or defense?
Defense.
Yes, it looks like they have, and they're also using a form of a 1-2-2 offense, Jim. They change almost every time up and down the floor.
And they've relaxed the press.
Foul is going to be called on Wisman. Basket by Dunn will count. He has 2 points. Thornridge has 11 and a chance for a 3-point effort. In the corner, Gott runs it down for Quincy, and the Blue Devils trail by 6 with 3:35 to play in the first period. Aurora East in a comeback win to capture third place. Boy, Sorensen was surrounded. Foul will be called against Greg Rose. That's his first.
Foul on Greg Rose.
They were beginning to swarm over him here on that pass. Loose for just a moment. And there, you can see where the foul occurred.
3:28 to play in the first period. Free throw is up and good by Sorensen. His first point of the night. 11-6 now. Thornridge with a 5-point edge over Quincy. 3:25 as the seconds tick away in the opening period.
And Tom, that's the first foul on Rose.
That's Rose with the ball. Give you an idea of the talent on this ball club. That makes it 13-6. Thornridge in front. High pass. Moore retrieves it, flips to Wisman. In the corner. Spear at the baseline. Heavy traffic back out to Wisman. The young sophomore rolls it over the rim. Battle for the rebound. Buckner's got it. Traveling. The ball will go out of bounds to Quincy. In the meantime, I'll remind you the men and women of Illinois Bell are bringing you this 65th Illinois High School Association basketball tournament on television. Moore from out deep. He had 32 this afternoon. 13-8. Thornridge with a 5-point lead. Jack?
That's the key to their ball club, as we all know, Tom. He's got to get hot, and when he gets hot, anything can happen.
One of the few bad passes Buckner's made, intercepted by the Blue Devils, and Moore brings it back on the attack. Moore had 95 points when he entered this game tonight. He's hit 2 in a row. I think you've heard us refer to him as a streak shooter. Don't be surprised now if he should run in 5, 6, 7, or even 8 in a row on you. And don't be surprised also if he suddenly goes stone cold. Underneath the bats, a whistle. A foul will be called on Sorensen, his second. And it would appear that he's going to have his hands full with Boyd Batts, as you might well expect. Batts going to the free throw line, a very talented performer.
Tom, apparently Batts, who left the ball game a little early this afternoon injured, is in full form tonight. He's not favoring that left leg at all.
That's his 4th point of this championship game. It's 14-10 in favor of Thornridge, and after the free throw, on goes the press. Moore gets the job in heavy traffic, flips it over to Wisman, the young sophomore. Equal to the task, isn't he? I'm very impressed with that boy. 6'1", talented, playing in the championship game. Oh, nice soft touch by Gott. got just enough of that rim, and the effort was soft enough that just hung it up there till it fell through. 14-12. Quincy by no means going into a fold here with 1:46 to play in the first period. Buckner over the rim, rebound, Batts on the floor, up with it. In a fine move is Ernie Dunn. He's got it in for 2 points. Will it count? Whistle on the play.
Cheryl Hanks, the coach of Quincy, is a little upset down here talking to one of the officials. He thought that ball was back up over the backboard and should have been whistled dead.
And he's got another additional problem. Sorensen got his 3rd foul, and the basket was good. 16-12 with 1:38 to go, and Sorensen finds himself with 3 fouls, and we've not yet played this first period. Doesn't augur well for Quincy if this youngster's out. That's 5 points for Dunn. 17-12 now, and just as quickly, Thornridge jumps up to a 5-point lead again. Spear, double team, and a foul will be called on Buckner. His first, and now we've got Ely coming into the ball game, and Sorensen of necessity will be going to the free throw, to the bench. To the free throw line will be Spear.
This Thornridge club, Tom, just impresses me the way they can change styles. They almost do it, as I said before, every time up and down the floor. It's tough to get a team to change their style just at a quarter or at the half, but this ball club can do it almost without thinking about it.
Rebound to Buckner. 17-12. Thornridge over Quincy. Buckner, great pass under. Batts with a reverse layup. He's got 6. I gather you know now there's nothing wrong with Boyd Batts' wheels.
There's that zone press again. It's just devastating. And the guards on Quincy are a little bit small, and they're having a rough time seeing over those outstretched arms.
Buckner on the steal, converts it for his 6th point.
Jack, I was going to ask you, have you ever seen a high school team put on that zone press better than this ball club?
No, and the secret is anticipation. They move so well. As I said before, they just know what that Quincy fella's going to do with the ball, and they're right there.
21-12 in favor of Thornridge. A foul will be called on Ernie Dunn, his first, and we'll have...
Dunn, of course, was getting some help from Greg Rose, number 44, and then Dunn trying to make the recovery, coming in from the backside, getting at the foul.
This is Larry Moore at the free throw line. He has 4 points. His team trails by 9 with 55 seconds remaining in the first period. He's got 5, 21-13. But of course, just moments ago, Quincy got to within 14-12, and right away, Thornridge ran off 7 points while Quincy was getting 1. Buckner, he's got 8. 23-13. 4 down the court, 3-on-1. Ely fakes, and Batts went up with him. Traveling called on Ely. Half a minute remaining in the first period. Ball goes to the sidelines, backcourt. Bonsick will inbound the ball.
Here we go now with that last second shot. Well, they didn't have to wait that time.
Batts made it look so easy, Jack. 8 points, 25-13.
He's working well in there.
Moore to Wisman. Ball is kicked by Quinn Buckner. It'll go into the backcourt and, of course, out of bounds at midcourt to the Quincy Blue Devils. Inbounding it'll be Jim Wisman, 6'1" sophomore. I think he's reacted very well against a very difficult press. Jack Burmaster, both he and Moore.
Yes, they have. Now Buckner is on, and we'll see what Buckner does with him.
Oh, in and out, and tipped back in again on the follow by Spear. He's got 3 points. 25-15, there's the buzzer. And that's the end of the first quarter in the score. Thornridge 25, Quincy 15. What's the weekend going to be like? For smart long-distance callers, the forecast is for economy. Watch.
Okay, we're clear.
Back in 1934, Quincy defeated Thornton, Harvey of Thornton, 39-27 to win this state championship. And I incorrectly told you they'd been a bridesmaid twice, had never won it. But indeed, they did win it in 1934. I apologize to Quincy. In the backcourt, the tip to start the second period, controlled by Bonsick of Thornridge, and driving the baseline, throws. The follow-up is good by Batts. He's got 10.
See how quickly he got
27-15.
across there? I'm sorry, Tom.
Go ahead, Vince.
Rhodes coming across that baseline so swiftly.
I think they had a talk with Batts in the pregame meal. Jack Burmaster, he is awfully, awfully high,
Yeah,
playing much bigger than his 6'7".
Yes, he's a one-man gang out there right now. He's dominating both ends of the floor on the backboard. He's shooting well. That caused him to take a timeout.
Cheryl Hanks looks up at the clock and almost with the expression, how do you stop it? He had his ball club get within 2 points at 14-12. Quickly, Thornridge ran away, and they had a 10-point advantage at the first period, and now you see the score 29-15.
One of the factors that Vince and I talked about in our pregame coverage when we were looking at highlights was just how much effect that racehorse game that Quincy played this afternoon against Aurora East would have on their ball game tonight. Just how tired would these kids be?
Jim, I think, and Jack, you'll be interested in this. When the score was 14-12 Thornridge, they now in the ensuing minutes have outscored Quincy 15 points to 3. Gives you an idea of how devastating they can be.
I have to think Quincy is really missing Don Sorensen in there against Batts. With Ely in there, they lose a couple of inches of height in a key spot.
Thornridge is 13 for 23 from the field. Quincy 6 of 14. Quincy nearly 50% from the field, but they are not getting as many shots. Moore stumbles coming across the lane. Traveling is called. Bonsick will inbound the ball for Thornridge. 7 minutes and 15 seconds. You know, earlier this afternoon, we had a few calls inquiring just where is Thornridge of Dolton, and it occurred to me, as Batts swings now and picks up his 12th point, that number 5, does he not live up in Thornridge?
Yes, Lou Boudreau used to live in Harvey and moved to Dolton, a neighboring suburb, just a few years ago.
Pass underneath, tipped away, batted at, and Quinn Buckner will receipt for his second foul.
Well, Thornridge is now back in their straight man-to-man defense, and it's a surprise, to me at least, that Ernie Dunn basically is taking charge of Larry Moore and doing a fine job. Of course, he's getting help. The rest of the fellas are sagging, sinking, helping out, and right now Quincy is just a little bit beside themselves as to what to do offensively.
For 6'3", Buckner can really sky for that ball. Whistle traveling on Bonsick, out of bounds, Quincy.
I think he was up on the balcony when he pulled that rebound down.
31-15, 6:42 to play in the first half, and Thornridge, unbeaten, very nearly unchallenged. Moore's long cast off the front of the rim. Bonsick, bounce pass across, Dunn under to Rose. 8 points. Into the game comes Sorensen, and they need him.
Tom, that probably would have been a goaltending call anyway, even if it hadn't gone in, because his hand was up above the rim and touching it.
33-15, Thornridge, a steal now. Dunn brings it back on the 3-on-2. Underneath, Buckner's pass, right back to Dunn. No basket. 3-on-2, and they handle that ball like a magician's convention, don't they?
They're beautiful.
6:13 to play in the first half. A valiant Quincy team. There's Wisman from outside. Ball doesn't seem to want to go in.
They're getting only one shot.
Indeed. And that percentage that was near 50 has slumped considerably now. Bonsick. Buckner in the corner to Batts. Look at that.
Oh, boy.
Batts has got 14. 35-15. And unless the Quincy Blue Devils can do something soon, gentlemen, this game may be out of reach.
Where that Batts is going, Tom, I think he could throw it in from the parking lot.
Look at that defense. Long pass to Bonsick. And his over-the-shoulder return very nearly fell into the hands of Buckner. Instead, it's out of bounds. Watch it again.
We'll take another look at it here. Very, very high feed. And you can see number 23 and number 33 both going out of bounds there, with Bonsick having been fouled.
Jack Burmaster just noticed the spirit on this ball club and how Quinn Buckner leads them. As he came back up the floor, he wanted to slap the hand of every teammate.
I find it uncanny that Bonsick, with his back to the floor, going full tilt over the end line, an over-the-shoulder effort to get it back in, and Buckner was standing there just as if the pass is something we do every day of the week. 37-15, Thornridge over Quincy. 5:30 to play in the first half. Moore in heavy traffic. Pass under to Sorensen, and bats it out of bounds.
Irrepressible, isn't he?
Quincy inbounds the ball. Moore with it. Guarded by Dunn. And Dunn at 6'1" is bigger and I believe just as quick. Rebound Buckner.
That's the first time I've seen them set a screen for Moore, Jack.
In the corner to Rose. 10 points for Rose. Batts has got 14. Buckner's got 8. Bonsick 2. Dunn has got 5. And Thornridge has 39. And they lead by 24. Whistle on the play and a foul on Dunn. That's his second.
The thing that happens, they want to set a screen for Moore, but when they do...
Let's take a look at it once again here before Larry Moore goes up to the free throw line. There he was on each shot, and you could see very clearly that he was fouled.
Batts has hit on 6 of 9. Rose has hit on 5 of 8. Buckner 4 of 6. And Moore gets a free throw, his 6th point of the night.
One word comes to my mind watching Thornridge. Devastating.
They have outscored Quincy 25-5, and they lead 39-17. I go back to when the score was 14-12. Well, that is awesome. That is lightning in a bottle. Batts underneath.
The thing
He's
that
got
happens,
16.
The thing that happens on that, he rolls down, and there's no help on the weak side, and they just lob it over Sorensen's head, and there's not a thing he can do.
41-17. Thornridge leads Quincy. 4:39 to play in the first half. A comment, Jim Boland.
And for the first time in 4 games, the smile has left Larry Moore's face. He's a disturbed young man right now, trying to figure out what to do.
And I thought Cheryl Hanks looked rather resigned when he met his team coming out there, Bill.
I don't know if the high command could think of something to do against this Buckner-led ball club. You know, time to remind you, you'll want to stay with us at halftime. Jim Boland and I will be interviewing parents, girlfriends, and the immediate families of these championship players. Be interesting to find out how they feel about this game. Stay with us. That'll be at halftime. The men and women of Illinois Bell are bringing you these Illinois High School Association basketball tournament games on television. Well, we'll see if Cheryl Hanks was able to come up with any type of formula to stem what appears to be an unstemmable tide. Thornridge leading 41-17. Moore with the ball for Quincy. And Dunn is right with him, isn't he? Shot short, rebound off to Buckner, clears it out. Look at that, 4-on-1. Back of the back, Rose underneath, blew it. Batts follows, blows it, whistle. And a foul underneath. Going to be a call. Here's a chance to look at it again.
And here is Sorensen going up in just a moment here. Batts with that rebound, and watch number 15, Sorensen. He was tied up pretty good there. And Kel Gott, number 45, that foul called on him, his first one.
Free throw by Batts gives him now 17 points in this first half.
I don't know whether it's the arm of Sorensen or his hand that he seemed to hurt on.
43-17.
Well, mercifully, Ron took the full court press off, and they've just dropped back now.
Wisman. That is the first basket that Quincy has scored since they were at 12 points. They went to 13 on a free throw, 2 more free throws, and then 2 more to go to 17, and now they reached 19. Follow underneath by Batts. 45-17. 3:41 to play in the first half. Thornridge rolling along.
You know, it's been said before in the other games we've seen Thornridge play, Tom, that they have just played hard enough to win and have kind of toyed with their opposition. And tonight we see how they are just like the cat playing with the mouse.
Gott made as good an effort as you can on Buckner, so much so that he picked up a foul. And as the Thornridge fans cheer, Buckner just forced that ball back up into the net.
Well, he actually went up with his right hand, Tom, and as the contact was made, he switched it to his left hand.
11 for Buckner. Ely coming back in, and coming out will be Spear for Quincy. 48-19. Three-point play by Buckner. Buckner just picked it right out of Sorensen's hand, spun it right out of bounds. Quick. Inbound pass to Moore. Baseline, Ely. 48-21. 27-point lead for Thornridge. Unbeaten. 3 minutes remaining in this first half. Defending state champions. 53 in a row, trying for 54 and back-to-back state titles. Whistle underneath. Ely gets his first foul.
Ely was trying so hard to screen Batts off the backboard and Batts worked so hard that Ely just kind of nudged him with his hip there, and it's unfortunate. He gave him an easy 1-and-1 effort here.
With that free throw, Batts has a total of 21 points in this first half. He's got 22. 50-21. Thornridge leading by 29. Moore had that blocked. Gott grabbed it and walked with it, and it's out of bounds to Thornridge. 2:46 remaining in the first half. Now Buckner takes over as a guard. In the corner, long jump shot by Rose. He's got 12. 52-21. 31-point lead. 2:27. And you know this is a good Quincy basketball team.
This is an excellent Quincy team, and it's a shame that they're getting beat this badly, Tom, because they're not that bad a ball club at all.
You bet they aren't, and if you had to measure them in heart and spirit and courage, they'd be right among the very best. But I just don't know what you can say that we haven't said about this team in white and blue.
Well, I bet their fans are finding this hard to believe.
Look at that Buckner. He's playing. He's
playing guard now.
Yeah.
Supreme athlete. Throws out of the corner, and Batts clean to the top of the board for the ball and throws it right back in from deep in the corner. 24 for Batts. 54-21. Ely. High for the rebound is Batts, and he came down very hard, but he's right back up.
Want to take another look at it. With Rose up there 44 and 31, of course, Boyd Batts, who was fouled. And it was Kel Gott who committed the foul, his third of this ball game. Gott, number 45.
At the free throw line is Batts. He has 24 points. Gatlin getting ready to come in. That gives him his 25th point. He's got 9 baskets and 7 free throws.
Now here's a fellow that's done a great job, Ernie Dunn, coming out. He's the young man that's been watching Moore, and they're giving him a little breather here with Gatlin. We'll see who they assign now to Moore.
About the time that Batts was proving he's human, Rose took the rebound and flipped it in for his 14th point. 57-21.
Tom, that Rose is quite a musician, too, a drummer.
Shot is up and in by Wisman. We'll see if it counts or not. Foul is going to be called on Bonsick. No basket. No basket. 49 points is the one-game individual scoring mark tossed in by Jerry Cummerly of Danville Schlarman. Played against Rock Falls in 1958. Free throw by Gott is good. Has another coming. 57-22. Rebound to Thornridge. Buckner. Rose up the baseline, flips it into Gatlin. Buckner picks it up. We've got a whistle, I think, a 3-second lane violation, Coach.
Yes, he was in there. He was waiting for that rebound. Boyd smiling about it. He knew he was camped in there. As they say, give him
Thornridge has outscored Quincy 43-10 in this spurt. Minute 9 remaining in the second period. I take you back to when the game was 14-12. It is now 57-22. With a minute 9 to play. 43-10. Got across the lane, on the move, on the rim, tipped away, out of bounds, Thornridge.
Well, right now, Bat's got them so intimidated in there, even when he doesn't jump to block the shots, they feel that he is going to jump, and as a result, they don't shoot it the way they normally would.
Rose up the baseline, picks up a player control foul. His second, ball out of bounds to Quincy.
And Jack, I thought that was what he did against Collinsville in the first game down here.
Yes, he did.
Jack Rosenberg has given me what I think is an interesting statistic. In the championship game a year ago, this Thornridge team only scored 52 points. They have 57 now, and we have not yet completed the first half.
Here's a replay on this one. There's the pass right in under the basket. And there, where number 12.
That's Gatlin who picked up the foul, Vince
Or
Lloyd.
42, I'm sorry, yeah. That's his first one.
And Sorensen's free throw is good. He has 2 points. Sorensen had 20 this afternoon in the 107-96 win over Aurora East. 57-24 as Sorensen converts them both. 38 seconds remain. Thornridge leading. Gatlin and Bonsick play catch. They'll go for one. Rose, cross-court pass to Bonsick, runs it down, flips to Buckner.
How did he just happen to be there, huh?
Rose to Buckner. Look at that pass underneath. I'll tell you this, Jack Burmaster, you play in the same team with number 25, Quinn Buckner, and you'd best be alert, because if you aren't, he'll tear your head off with one of those.
Well, these kids are alert, though. It's very seldom that they miss one of those passes.
Sorensen hits the jumper from the baseline at the buzzer, and we're at the intermission. 57-26. Literally an awesome display, the likes of which I've not seen in nearly 16 years here at the Illinois State High School Tournament. And I do not mean to demean any ball clubs I've seen in the past or champions down through the years. Thornridge 57, Quincy 26. And I'll have a wrap-up for you on the first half as soon as I look over the scorebook. Meantime, here's Jim Boland in Tournament Central.
Okay, Tom, we'll be back to you shortly, and then we'll have those interviews with some of the parents and the girlfriends and immediate family members of these championship players. Spirit, dedication, these players have it. No question about that. And now you'll see a lot of other people who have it, too.
I'm sure there have been basketball teams that have been as impressive as Thornridge here in championship play down through the years of this Illinois State tournament. For the likes of me, life of me, I can't think of any. Bogey Redmond's team at Collinsville back in '61, I believe, pretty much dominated this tournament, if you'll recall. But I can't recall a team that has been as impressive and as thorough in all aspects of the game as Thornridge is tonight. And Quincy, you know, is a very good basketball team, and yet they trail here at the intermission 57-26. At one time were outscored by Thornridge 43-10. They were within 2 points at 14-12, and then it would appear that the Assembly Hall roof fell in on them. Batts has 25, Rose has 14, 11 for Buckner, 2 for Bonsick. High point man for Quincy, Moore has 6 points. This afternoon he had 32. Look at the statistics, 62% for Thornridge from the field. Quincy made 9 field goals of 26, 35%. Awesome and invincible. I guess those are the words. Here at halftime, 57-26, Thornridge, looking for a back-to-back state title, leads Quincy. And now, let's go to Jim Boland at courtside.
Well, while we're waiting for the second half of this championship game, Tom, to get underway, we've rounded up some vitally interested fans of the two teams still in contention for the state crown. Let's find out how these two young ladies feel about the probable outcome of this game. At this point, there doesn't seem to be too much doubt among the Thornridge fans, I'm sure. And we have the girlfriends of two of these championship team players. On my right is Terry Edwards, the girlfriend of Larry Moore. Beg your pardon, or the other way around. Larry Moore, Terry Edwards, right? And Carol Taylor, the girlfriend of Quinn Buckner. Maybe you can give us a tip where Quinn's going to go to school.
Oh, well, I really couldn't tell you. He hasn't decided yet.
I guess he's going to take a lot of looks at colleges this summer, isn't he?
Yes, he has.
How long have you and Quinn been going together?
About 7 months now.
He's quite a ball player. Have you had any doubts in your mind that Thornridge was going to be the championship team in the state this year?
No doubts at all.
Seems like you're all pretty confident up there in the stands.
I know.
And I guess you're quite pleased with the outcome of this first half so far.
I'm very pleased, yes.
All right, let's turn now to Terry Edwards. Your young championship player on this Quincy squad has really been some kind of scorer. You're quite proud of him, I'm sure.
Yes, I am.
How long have you been going together?
2 years.
What common interest do you share? You like music? You like athletics?
Basketball.
Basketball is the thing you share. Larry going on to college somewhere?
Yes, but he hasn't decided where yet.
I guess he'll be looking at some schools around the country this summer, too. Thank you very much, girls, and good luck to both of your teams in the second half of this game. Now, here's Tom Kelly with two more fans, one backing each team.
Nobody has a more agonizing time at a basketball game than the coach's wife and his family. This pretty lady on my left is Mrs. Sandra Hanks, whose husband coaches Quincy. I know it's been a difficult first half for you, Sandra.
Very, really too much to pick up, but we're happy to have been here tonight in the championship game.
And I'm sure proud of the job that Cheryl has done. This is your daughter, Chris, 14. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Over here is the lady whose husband is trying to win back-to-back tournaments, Mrs. Don Ferguson. I know you must be proud of the job your husband has done, not only this year, but last time.
Very, very much so.
Has there been a lot of pressure building up on you?
Quite a bit on my husband, yes, but I've been very optimistic, very.
These two pretty children are yours.
Yes. And I have one more, too,
You have
with
one
Daddy
more?
on the bench, right?
Are they having a good time at the tournament?
Very much so.
Girls, remember this. Somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. I will say this. No matter who wins or loses, when the coaches come home tonight, they're going to have two beautiful women to come home to. Thank you for being with us, and I do hope the tournament has been a happy experience for both of you. And now, Jim Bolin has two more people he'd like to talk to. Let's go to Jim.
Thank you very much, Tom Kelly. On my right, we have the parents of young Larry Moore, the outstanding star of the Quincy team. Mr. Moore, did you know this young boy was going to be a basketball player?
Well, we always hoped so. He worked hard ever since he's been 6, 7 years old. He does a real good job.
Mrs. Moore, did you see this little boy out here for Manual High School tonight?
Very sweet.
Did that kind of remind you of Larry when he was a kid?
Larry didn't get started quite that early, but just about.
Do you have any idea what Larry's plans are, what he wants to be? He wants to go on to school, I'm sure.
Yes, and he wants to go into coaching.
Does he have any brothers and sisters at home?
He has one sister and one brother left and one sister married.
Mr. Moore, do you have any preference about where Larry goes to school?
No, just wherever he's will be the happiest, because he's the one who has to be satisfied.
Well, thank you very much. I know you're very proud of this young man. He's making quite a show for your Quincy High School, and good luck to your team in the second half. Now to my left, we have the father and two sisters of Mike Bonsick, the fine playmaking guard of the Thornridge Falcons. Mr. Bonsick, you want to try to talk?
Well, there isn't much I can say. I yelled myself out this afternoon.
Well, I don't know what you had to yell about, because it seems like your team has been dominating almost every game all year.
Yeah, but not when they start with the first quarter.
He is having trouble talking. And his two sisters, Bridget, which of you two young ladies is You're Bridget. You're a sophomore at Thornridge.
Thornwood.
Thornwood?
Yeah.
How does your brother happen to be going to Thornridge?
Well...
What's that?
They split the schools this year.
Oh, I see. How old are you?
I'm 15.
And your sister here is Pat. You're a junior at the same school, Thornwood?
Yeah.
Quite proud of Mike, I guess, aren't you?
Sure.
Well, thank you so much. And
The little boy's got chicken pox at home. My son, he's home with his mother. They're not down here.
Well, let's hope he gets better, okay? Thank you very much, both of you, all three of you, and to Mr. and Mrs. Moore. Thank you so very much for talking to us, and good luck to both the Thornridge and Quincy ball clubs in the second half. And now let's go back to Tournament Central.
There is no doubt about the enthusiasm generated among the fans at this great event. Tom Kelly is going to be ready to bring us the second half of the championship game in just a few moments. Illinois Bell hopes you never have a complaint about your phone service, and so do you. But the fact is, it can happen. So here's how to handle it if it does.
Tom Kelly along with Jim Boland. Vince Lloyd will be joining us in just a moment. Jack Burmaster, who coached the Evanston Wildcats. And that indeed was a fine basketball team, winning the state championship in 1968. And I've got to be frank with you, our viewers, as you look at the halftime score, talking with Jack about teams that have played in this tournament. Jack, I mentioned Bogey Redmond and the Collinsville team. Jim Boland, you know about them. I thought they were as classy a basketball team ever played here. Jack, you had a good club. There have been some fine teams, the DeSable Club, Marshall, but this team is, I think, the finest I've ever seen at this tournament.
Tom, I've never seen a ball club here in this tournament that can do all the things that this Thornridge club can. If you look at their shooting percentage, for instance, in this first half, they shot an amazing .605. Quincy, I think part of their key was they couldn't get the shots away that they had been getting against the other ball clubs, and they shot a very meager .310.
This is a good Quincy basketball team.
Oh, it's a great ball club, and I know Sherrill at the halftime, I'm sure, just appealing to their pride. He feels as badly as they do, and I'm sure there was no tongue lashing of any kind. Just to go out now and do their best and not give up and stay in there, saw wood that there's going to be some light at the end of all this, I'm sure.
I don't know whether they're in a one and box zone or what, but it seems to have little effect as Bonsick throws one in from long range.
Looks like they're dropping back in the middle now to protect against a big fellow like Batts and Buckner under there.
Buckner cleared that off, but it's picked up off the floor by Sorensen. He gets a bucket.
Tom, did you mention those rebounds the first half? 27 for Thornridge, 6 for Quincy.
Yes, it has been a complete domination of 16 minutes of basketball, and I mean complete, by a basketball team. Driving down, Spear from the side, rolls it over the rim. The tip is up, no good. Battle underneath on the floor. Spear valiantly trying to put it back up, and Buckner fouled him his third. You brought up an interesting point, Jack, about appealing to their pride. They are a team with pride, and they have played with pride and great courage and determination, this Quincy club. They will not be disgraced regardless of what the score is. Theirs will be a total commitment and effort in this game tonight, but they happen to be facing what so far has been an invincible team.
Yes. They have changed the strategy here, too, Tom. I just noted they're using what they used against Crane in the second half last night. Kind of a three-quarter 1-2-2 press, and we'll see what happens here. Maybe they can force a few turnovers.
Thornridge leads by 30, and there's one of the turnovers you spoke of. Interception at midcourt in the backcourt by Spear. Gives it to Westman, and he's got to get it over the line and does. 6:55 to play in the third period. This Quincy club, you know, scored 107 points this afternoon. They know where the basket is and how to get the ball in it. They're just up against a cold shooting evening themselves and against a ball club that just is talented in every department, every position, every aspect of the game.
I have to laugh at Rod Ferguson. He just hollered out to his team, get organized. If there ever was a team that is super organized.
Traveling is called against Sorensen. You know, the other day in talking to this ball club after they picked up their opening win against, talked with Quinn Buckner, and I said, you gave me the impression at times that you are indifferent to what is going on, and all of a sudden you just explode, do what you have to do, and then you kind of sit back and almost watch. And I still sometimes have that feeling about the team, that they are so confident, so good, that they feel they can do whatever they have to do whenever they have to do it. 61-29. 5:57 to play in the third period. No basket. Foul is going to be called on Gott, number 45, pushing off, and that's his fourth.
That's the reason he was open, Tom. He pushed Batts in the hip there and then went back door on him, and that's the reason he got open and got that pass. But the official, Burson, was right there and called it.
Batts has 25. (26, 62, 29, 5:54 to play. Third period. Thornridge trying for back-to-back state championship years. Gott follows, rolls it under the bucket. Spear puts it up and in.
That's the first time Batts made a mistake, and of course I see he's limping. Maybe that's why he made the mistake. He didn't seal his man off, and he returned, got the rebound, and put it in.
Ball is pushed forward to Quinn Buckner, and he puts it underneath. Foul on Moore, and we'll see if Batts is going to get the basket.
Yes,
You'll see on the replay, Larry Moore, number 33, coming from behind over the top. He did get the ball, but he also got part of the hand.
The basket attempt was good, and it will count. 64-31. Batts trying for a three-pointer. He now has 29 points. 65-31, and Batts seems to be holding the upper thigh on his left leg. That's what caused him to leave the semifinal game this afternoon with about a minute and a half to play. Looks like, maybe a pull, a Charlie horse, coach, something of that nature.
Yeah, I think it's the same injury. When he gets that ball, though, he's going to forget about it.
that's all forgot.
Yes, that'll be his fifth. 6'4" junior from Quincy, who played so well. Congratulated by Buckner and by Rose and Dunn, Bonsick, Elian, and Gott with 5 points. Has finished his basketball for the 71-72 season. But he'll be back next year, another year to go.
Tom, he's a very dejected young man over on that bench right now.
Buckner with the free throw has 12, and it's 66-33. Thornridge leading with 4:55 to play in the third period. Spear in the corner.
Well, I'm sure that Cheryl Hanks must be looking forward to next season when he has Gott, who's a junior, Robert Spear, a junior, and Wisman, a sophomore, coming back. 3 of these starters will be back with him.
Foul on Batts. Free throw line will be Ely. The telecasts of these championship games are being brought to you by the men and women of Illinois Bell. Rick Ely, 6'4" junior. Ernie Dunn, 6'1", jumps like he was 6'8". Steal by Spear. Wisman. Quite evident, Coach Burmaster, Quincy has not quit.
No, they haven't. That Wisman is doing a job again for a sophomore.
Look at the combination of Buckner and Rose. Buckner to the line, fires the bounce pass to Rose underneath. He gets the bucket, giving him his 18th point, 68-35. Foul on the play, charged to Ely, his second, and Thornridge with an effort. Could have netted him 3, did not. Ely has the rebound. 68-35. Thornridge leading Quincy. Wisman gets his second straight two-pointer. 68-37. 4:15 to play in the third period. Wisman, the sophomore, trying to pick up the steal. Turnover forced. Spear, 3 on 2.
Look at that.
Buckner just took it away from him.
What a steal.
Back-of-the-back pass. The crowd roars its approval of what has to be one of the finest high school basketball teams this tournament has ever seen.
Tom, I still can't believe that steal by Buckner.
Well, you know, he made a real bad mistake out here, and Ron Ferguson got up off the bench, and for the first time I heard him say something, "Hey, cut it out, Quinn," and he came right back and took it right out of his hands as he was dribbling.
Thornridge is asking for a timeout. So in the championship game, at the timeout, the score stands Thornridge 70, Quincy 37. Now let's take a look at the prize almost 300 of the high schools across the state have been battling for.
This is the championship trophy that signifies the best in the state among the AA schools. It's the trophy that almost 300 high schools have been seeking throughout the tournament. We'll be covering the presentation of the trophy immediately following this game. I'm sure you won't want to miss it.
Tom Kelly, Jack Burmaster, Vince Lloyd, and Jim Boland with you at courtside. You're looking at the cheerleading squad from Thornridge, and you've been watching a truly magnificent basketball team as they have rolled to a 70-37 margin here. 3:45 to play. Vince?
I was just going to mention here, we talked about the number of Quincy men who will be back next year, and off of the starting 5 for Thornridge, 2 men, number 24, Ernie Dunn, and number 44, Greg Rose, are juniors. They will return. The other 3 starters graduate.
Well, that's a good pair to start off a season with. Out of the corner, Moore. 8 points for Moore. 70-39. Thornridge leading. Buckner against the press, drives down the court, 15-foot effort. What else is new? 72-39. Quinn Buckner gets his 14th point of the night. Wisman from outside. That's the third in a row he's hit from the field. 72-41. Wisman now has 11 points.
Tom Kelly
7 in the second half.
Point out that we're soon going to be seeing a new single-game championship scoring record.
That's underneath. 74-41. 3 minutes remain in this, the third period. Moore at the free throw line. He's got 10 at 32 this afternoon. 74-43. 2:50 to play. Bonsick fires it across underneath and picks up a player control violation.
Foul on Mike Bonsick, number 23.
That's always an interesting stat, Jim. Bring us up to date on that, will you?
Yes, the winning team in the championship game, the highest score was an 85-point effort by Mount Vernon against Danville in 1950. And that is the highest score for a winning team, so we're approaching that with Thornridge already at 74. And there's a chance that Quincy could, by scoring 56 points in this contest, break the 4-game scoring record.
Sorensen at the line, and with the free throw gets his 8th point of the night. The game has gone to 74-44. Underneath, turnover, the ball will go to Quincy. Wisman over to Moore. Moore from deep in the corner, threw it over the rim, rebound, Ely underneath.
You know, we talked before, Jim, you asked why don't they screen more for Moore. Actually, they try it, but Thornridge is so quick, they jump switch, and they switch men so quickly that poor Moore just can't get it off. That last shot was a good example. He just had to force it from the deep corner.
There's Moore again on the rim. Very alert steal by Ely to set it up. Wisman gets the rebound. His pass slapped away, and Spear recovers. Whistle. Foul will be called against number 44, Greg Rose, his third.
Foul on Greg Rose.
Here's a replay of this one, and it's number 44, Greg Rose,
Foul on the fourth with Thornridge.
who is charged with that particular foul. Reaching across.
Spear is
they
at
don't
the
do
line.
very often.
No. Picking up the free throw. That gives him a total of 7 points. 74-47. Thornridge leading. Buckner.
Oh, my.
Follow on the miss by Buckner. Dunn can't get it in. From outside, Batts is over the rim. Rebound rolls to Quincy. Wisman down the left side. Rose right with him. Swings in the lane. Fakes. Flips it over to Moore. Long jumper. Rebound. Spear. Would it count? Going to get it, I believe, and the foul will be on Batts. There's the signal. Let's watch it again.
Let's take a look at it right here. High rebound. 21 going up for it, and there you can see where he was fouled by Batts.
Spear, Johnny on the spot, now picks up and makes it a 3-point effort. He's got 10 points for the night. 74-50. And now just a 24-point deficit, and one must be proud of this Quincy club for having fought back the way they have, Jack Burmaster.
Yes, they've sawed wood. They've stayed in there.
Buckner put that one up, Coach, and Moore got more of it, I think, than Buckner did.
Yeah.
That zone press is bothering him just a little bit, and I think Ron has called Ernie Dunn over now and told him to settle down a little bit on some of those passes inside.
Minute 11 remaining in the third period. 74-50 Thornridge. 75-50 as Buckner picks up his 15th point. He had 14 this afternoon. He's got 16 now. 76-50. 26-point lead for Thornridge with 1:05 remaining in the third period. On their way to what they think will be another championship. They hope it will be. Maintain this pace, it cannot help but be. Moore bothered, got the shot away. Spear got the rebound, but he went over the end line.
Well, that's as good a man-to-man defense, Tom, as I have seen. they're just devastating. I hate to use that word so many times, but it is. They switch, they help each other out, they recover. It's just tremendous how they can react.
Shall we switch to awesome and juggernaut and a few things we haven't used?
How about mind-boggling? 76-50. Look at that. Wisman and company forced it loose and came right back up, and Buckner turns. Must be exasperating to work that hard to force a loose ball, then lose it, and then see a man turn and hit an 18-footer. 78-50. 6 seconds remain in the third period. Spear underneath. He's got 12. 78-52. There's the buzzer. Shot over the end of the court. We've come to the end of the third period here in this, the championship game. The score, Thornridge 78, Quincy 52. And now we pause 5 seconds for station identification. Basketball is the Illinois High School Association activity in the spotlight this weekend. But throughout the year, the IHSA sponsors programs for high school students in 10 sports: music and speech, student council, and girls athletics. Nearly 200,000 students participate in this broad interscholastic program each year.
Tom, just notice here, Quincy has scored as many points in the third quarter, 26, as they did in the entire first half.
And gentlemen, we are rapidly closing in on 2 other scoring records. This may be the most record-shattering tournament in the 65-year history. The four-game scoring record, rather. Quincy is just 5 points away from setting a new one. The 2-team championship scoring for the championship game, they're approaching that. They're only 16 points away, both squads. So we may see all kinds of records fall here.
As a point of interest, gentlemen, Quincy outscored Thornridge 26-21 in the third period, giving you an indication that Cheryl Hanks Ball Club is going to go down struggling if they go down at all. Mike Bonsek picks up his second foul. 7:53 to play in the game.
Tom, I hope a lot of youngsters are watching this Quincy Ball Club tonight and learning a lesson from them of not giving up.
A lesson well worth learning. Wisman's free throw gives him 11 points now. Here's Gatlin coming in. Bonsek with 4 fouls will get a rest. Larry Moore of Quincy needs a few more points to overtake Greg Smith of Aurora East, of the third place champions, for the scoring individual mark. Boy, did they handle that basketball.
They put Buckner on that high post against this press, and then he just turns when he gets the ball and either dribbles to the basket or wheels and deals to his men underneath, and he's done it time and time again.
Outside Moore.
That ties the record for 4 games for Quincy.
12 points for Moore. Batts has got 33. Another pass by Buckner. I swear Buckner could see you if you were hiding in the closet.
I was just thinking about his lateral vision, his peripheral vision. Must be tremendous.
82-56. Long jumper. Rebound falls out. Scramble for it. Ball in the air. We should have a whistle. We do. Jump balls being called. Ely on the floor along with Gatlin. And it'll be Ely and Gatlin jumping for possession. Thornridge leading by 26. Closest Quincy was at 14-2. Moore in and out. Long pass. Beautiful rebound and a lightning pass. Rose to Buckner. 2 more. 84-56 Thornridge. Whistle. Cheryl Hanks, whose team is fighting valiantly, but apparently in vain, asking for a timeout. 84-56. Thornridge over Quincy. This 65th Illinois High School Association basketball tournament is brought to you by the men and women of Illinois Bell Telephone. I think I can feel free to speak for Jack Burmaster and Vince Lloyd, Jim Bolin, saying how much we've appreciated your kind comments and thoughts. We've enjoyed being with you this championship tournament week here at the Assembly Hall in Class AA competition. We hope you've enjoyed our accounts of the basketball games, starting with the quarterfinal action yesterday. And I think that though they'll crown one champion tonight, and that's the way things should be, every youngster and every team that takes part from the opening tip-off is a champion. 84-56 Thornridge. Rose is 10 for 17. Batts 12 for 15. Buckner 8 for 15. Turnaround by Sorensen. Rebound. Batts clear out to Gatlin. And count two more.
Tom, that's a new record for the championship game. 86 points.
86-56 Jim Bolin. 6:25 to play. Thornridge on their way to their 54th in a row without a defeat. Buckner catches it in the air on the short toss by Moore. Underneath, rolling that one in as Rose.
You know, Tom, it's amazing to think that in this day and age of high-scoring basketball, that record of 85 points in the championship game has stood since 1950.
It is indeed a rather strange statistic. Foul is going to be called on Rose.
And he has a chance to give Quincy another new record, the 4-game scoring record. If he can convert this free throw, that would give them a new record of 327 points, and then they can add on from there the rest of the game.
Sorensen so far has 8. His team is down.
He does it. And that record has stood, gentlemen, since 1954 when DuSable of Chicago scored 326 points. Quincy now has 327, make it 28.
All right, as Sorensen gets a pair, 88-58. 30-point bulge for Thornridge with 5:58 to play in the championship game. And a record-shattering 65th Illinois High School Association Championship Tournament. Buckner in the middle. Feeds underneath, wide open is Batts. That for Batts is his 35th point. Jim?
And that breaks another record of the most points scored in a championship game. 146. That has stood since 1954 when Mount Vernon and Chicago DuSable scored 146 points.
I'd like to ask Jack, if in these championship games, Jack, there is a tendency going into them with a team to be a little bit on the cautious side at the outset, and if that would have anything with holding down the score in the championship game.
I think so. Certainly they're not as loose as they are in that third place game. You know, this is the one where all the blue chips are on the line, and I think you tend to come out and be cautious, as you pointed out, and usually the team that opens up and loosens up first is the team that gets that initial spurt and entertains the success. But I don't know, tonight they started out just a little slow, but it didn't take Thornridge long.
For those of you who may have joined us late and missed it, in the first game tonight, the battle for third place, it was won by Aurora East over Manual. Aurora East 74 and Manual 66.
Gentlemen, I stand corrected on a record. Jack Rosenberg, our statistician, just pointed out that Aurora East, in their victory tonight, won the 4-game scoring championship with 346 points. So Quincy has to go some to catch up.
Ely's attempt, a foul called against Batts, his third.
Number 31,
Batts has 35 points tonight.
You know, Tom, we talk so much about the talent of Thornridge, and there's no question they have great talent out there, but I'll tell you, a guy that I admire is this Ron Ferguson. He has done one tremendous job with this talent, and to win the number of games he has and to put 2 back-to-back jobs together, well, he's done a lot too, and he should get his just reward. These kids are just wonderfully coached. They're able to adjust to any situation, and this is a credit to Ron. And I watch him work his teams out. Believe me, he's an excellent coach.
90-59. Thornridge is playing catch. I don't believe if we stopped the clock, Quincy would have an opportunity to play catch-up. Try as they might. Bonsick underneath to Buckner. 22 for Buckner, 92-59, and the beat goes on. 4:35, Thornridge. Coasting.
Yeah, Buckner got him.
Buckner picked up his 4th foul, and will have Sorensen at the free throw line. Thornridge rolling to its 54th win without a loss, 33rd of the year, and its 2nd in a row state title.
1-1.
Had both Mrs. Hanks and Mrs. Ferguson on for a brief visit. Two very attractive, very nice ladies, and I'm sure that the wife of every high school coach in the state, in the nation, knows what both women are going through. And I tell you, Jack Burmaster, you and your fellow coaches may think that you've been this and you've been that when you come home from a basketball game, but Mama goes through all the agonies in the world right with you.
Yeah, I got to confess, they do a pretty good job in there. They hang in there pretty tough, huh?
Two very charming women and 3 youngsters, 2 of Coach Ferguson's children and 14-year-old daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Hanks. Whistle, got a foul on Spear. Seems to be with the score 92-61 in favor of Thornridge. Some agitation from the Assembly Hall fans here because Thornridge is holding the ball, and yet why not let a sleeping giant doze for a bit? Every time they seem to force Thornridge to put that ball toward the basket, they terminate it in a 2-point effort. Or more.
Or more, yeah.
There's a pair of free throws by Buckner. He now has 24 points, and it's 94-61. 3:59 to play. Spear up the baseline. Took a step too many without benefit of dribble. Here's Gatlin getting ready to come in for Thornridge.
Bill Gatlin, 42 seconds.
And the way things are going, Tom, I imagine several others on the Thornridge and Quincy squads will get into this championship game before it's over.
Ernie Dunn is going out. He has 5 points. But they didn't need Dunn to put it in the net tonight. He did so many other things. Rose underneath. Threw it over the rim, and Spear picked it up. Over to Wisman. 3:35 to play. And back to Ely off his fingertips, and Sorensen flips it in. He's got 14 points. 94-63. 31-point edge for Thornridge. I think, gentlemen, I can say without fear of contradiction, with 3:10 left, you're looking at a team that has picked up back-to-back Illinois State High School championships. Thornridge, the Falcons, and en route to that, 54 wins without a loss.
And I don't know how a team could win it more convincingly than Thornridge has here tonight.
Buckner inbounds to Batts. Batts wins it. Out it comes to Sorensen. He tried to throw it through Rose, and Rose just took it and ran it in for 2 points. And in the process, Wisman fouled him. 26 for Rose. Getting ready to come in now, and Coach Ferguson will be clearing his bench. He's going to send in number 21, Bill Redmond, to replace Rose, but not until Rose leaves the free throw line where he's trying to make it a 3-point effort. Ball batted out of bounds. It'll go to Thornridge, and Rose comes out as Redmond comes in. 26 points for Rose.
Well, you can see the spirit and dedication on that ball club, can't you? They're all together as a team.
96-63. Buckner loses
Look
it,
at
gets
that.
it. Uncanny. Batts. Ready to come in. Number 50, Keith Hutchinson, a 6'6 senior, be ready to come in. Whistle on the play. Foul will be on Gatlin. We'll see who he replaces. It'll be Batts going out. He has 37 points.
Quite a performance, Tom. I'd say he's a college prospect.
Oh.
To say the least.
Number 41, Mike Sellers, comes in for Quincy, and Spear goes out. Spear with 11 points. Buckner, Mr. Cool, and Mr. Complete Athlete was over at that Quincy bench congratulating Spear. It's the type of kid Quinn Buckner is. Moore's free throw is good. He has another. He's got 14. 98-65. Thornridge with 2:30 to play. And young Dave Anderson is getting ready to come in for Thornridge. Bonsick from outside. Rebound is hustled by Sellers of Quincy. Down to Wisman. Baseline jumper. Battle for the rebound and up with the ball. Redmond of Thornridge. Whoop! Going to be a foul on Redmond.
Number 30, Dave Anderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, this youngster coming in, his dad coached Thornton for the state championship. And he was the manager on the team back about 66 or 65. 98-65. Wisman drives. Rebound, follow, off the board, rebound, Quinn Buckner. Anderson up over the 10-second line. Pass rolls across to Hutchinson, under to Buckner. He's got 26.
What could be more appropriate than that Quinn Buckner gets point number 100?
100-65 with 1:35 to play in the championship game. And Buckner's playing just as hard now as when they tipped it off in the first period. 102.
I think that's his reserve waiting to go in, but Quinn isn't going to stop the clock.
He's got 28 points. Wisman. Buckner's got the rebound. Down the floor. Pass. Grabbed off by Redmond. Baseline. Jumper for two. You think Redmond isn't a happy kid?
And there's a thrill for that young man to have said he scored in a record-breaking performance for this championship team.
Let me tell you this, gentlemen. Redmond never saw the first 102 points. Just
right.
that last one. Buckner is coming out to a hero's welcome. 28 points.
Deservedly very happy group over there at Thornton bench.
Kramer is in. Number 25 for Quincy comes on the floor. Bergman and the young sophomore who played so valiantly and so well and who may just bring a Quincy ball club back to a state tournament before he's a senior. Wisman goes to the bench with 11 points.
Now, Tom, it's a great feat. These back-to-back championships. Only the fourth time in all the long history of this tournament that it's ever been accomplished.
Sorensen has 15 points. 16. 104-67. Now the bench is about to be cleared by both coaches. Anderson from outside. Rebound is chased down by Kramer.
Did you catch that, Tom?
Pardon me, Vince.
Cheryl Hanks just went over from the Quincy bench, walked in front of us over here to Ron Ferguson, put his arms around him, gave him a big squeeze, and obviously congratulated him on his outstanding team here. Great act of fine sportsmanship.
Indeed. Number 23 now coming into the ball game. Well, there's Gage and Long coming in, and benches are being cleared. And now the entire Thornridge team is down at the Quincy bench. All of the starters, and they're down congratulating Coach Cheryl Hanks. Great show of sportsmanship. But that's what the game is all about. Sportsmanship. Here's Sorensen coming out. We'll close the book on his effort. 16 points. no basket. Kramer. Quincy with the ball and 25 seconds to play. Kramer rebounds. Anderson chases it into the middle of the fourth estate. Battle for the rebound. Hutchinson has it for Thornridge. 9 seconds. Anderson throws it down the floor, and it's picked off by Long. He flips it to Bergman. The game's over, and Bergman hits the last point. 104 for Thornridge. 69 for Quincy. As complete a victory by as complete a basketball team as we've had the pleasure of seeing in many very happy years of telecasting the Illinois State High School Basketball Championship. Great feeling of comradeship. Batts and John Ferguson, the Thornridge coach, in an emotional scene right out just 10 feet from where I'm sitting as photographers and newsmen crowd around. Quinn Buckner, he and Ferguson, arm in arm.
Tom, I know the feeling that Ron Ferguson has for Buckner. It's not just as an athlete. All those things you read about him are true.
There's tears in Ferguson's eyes, Jack Burmaster.
I've talked to Ron many times about him, and he is just he's just a great all-American kid. And I know the feeling going through Ron now that he's finished 2 years and he won't have him anymore. And
but Lord, what 2 years they were, huh?
What a kid.
There they are, the state champions. Thornridge, the Falcons, 54-0. And the time has arrived to usher in the new champions. The victorious coach and team members are assembling as you see them on the floor for the ceremonies. The championship trophy symbolizes the top spot in Illinois high school Class AA basketball. The crown that almost 300 schools set their sights on back in February at the beginning of the tournament. Let's join Harry Fitzhugh, Executive Secretary of the Illinois High School Association, on the floor of the Assembly Hall for the award.
Executive Secretary of the IHSA, Mr. Fitzhugh.
Thank you. Congratulations on a successful tournament. We thank you for providing us with some of the finest, if not the finest, high school basketball in the United States. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and pleasure to introduce at this time Mr. James Grimm, a member of the Board of Directors and Vice President of the Illinois High School Association and Principal of the Triopia High School at Concord, who will present the awards to these fine, extra fine championship teams. Mr. Grimm.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzhugh. It's an honor and a privilege to represent the Illinois High School Association in presenting these awards. This is the first year for Class A and Class AA, and so these teams have the honor of participating in the final game for the first Class AA tournament. If Coach Cheryl Hanks of the Quincy Blue Devils would come forward, please. Congratulations to you on your fine team, Coach. These are individual awards for you and your team. Thank you. If Captains Moore and Sorensen would come forward, please. Congratulations. Fine bunch of boys, with your captain. And to you, this second place trophy in the first Class AA tournament.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. If Coach Ferguson of the Thornridge team would come forward, please. Congratulations to you, Coach. Special congratulations, because you were the team that won the first place last year and repeated this year with AA first place. These are individual awards for you and your team. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ron.
Captains Buckner, Bonsick, and Batts, if you would come forward, please. Congratulations to you. Congratulations.
Give these to you, please.
Okay. Captain Batts, Congratulations. And for you and the members of your team, this first place trophy of the first AA tournament. Congratulations. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We know that you've enjoyed this tournament. Please have a safe trip home. Mr. Pitcher. Thank you, Jim.
Harry Fitzhugh and members of the IHSA as they presented the trophies to the number 1 and number 2 Class AA teams in the state of Illinois. And there you have the Thornridge champions. What a great basketball team. What emotion on the face of Ron Ferguson, their coach, tears in his eyes. When young Larry Moore of Quincy went out to get the trophy, his face was, his eyes brimming with tears. Well, with the help of Jim Bolin, we hope to have an interview for you with the happy members of the championship team in just a few moments. First, let's go to Vince Lloyd in Tournament Central.
Thank you, Tom. We're looking forward to meeting the new champions. And also, we'll be looking for Tom Kelly to join us here for a wrap-up in the championship game a little later. Now, here's a sweet little lady who wants to share some of her secrets on how to get more for your money from your phone store. Homecomings tomorrow anyway, Tom. One at Quincy, of course, and another one at Dolton, where they will have a repeat of what happened a year ago. Only tonight, of course, they did it in such a convincing fashion. It's just almost unbelievable, even when you're here and you watch it.
I might add that both should be prideful, too, because Quincy has nothing to be ashamed of, and, of course, Thornridge, just the ultimate.
That's right. Now it's time to join Jim Bolin and the new champions out on the playing floor.
Well, we have the exciting Thornridge Falcons here. Coach Ferguson, where's Ron Ferguson? We get him out here. We want to talk to him a minute because I know he has to get away, and a lot of other people that are waiting to talk to him too. Hi, Ron. Congratulations to just a great championship basketball team.
Thank you, Jim. I'm real proud of the kids.
This must be a great bunch of kids to coach.
Oh, they've just been the greatest. I can't ask for a better group of kids for 3 years. I'll tell you, I don't know what I can say. But they're just great.
You're a very proud man, and you're almost on the verge of tears, and rightly so, because it is a proud moment, I'm sure, in your life. You've joined a select group of coaches that have coached 2 champions here. I guess you're looking forward now to another year because you've got some of these boys coming back, and it should be a great team coming up for you.
Well, I think we've got some good boys coming back, and we're going to look to another year. But I'll never forget these past couple of years, and it wasn't really not too much my fault. These kids are just great players, and I was just fortunate enough to be the one that was able to have them and to coach them. And I guess a coach is only lucky like that, you know, once in a while. And I'm just thank the good Lord that I was the one that was fortunate enough to have these young men.
Ron, they're a smart bunch of basketball players. I noticed Jack Burmaster at game side in helping us with the coverage. Noticed that you switched offenses and defenses, and they picked up these new instructions from you and made it look so effortless.
Well, these boys have been playing together for so long that and we've been doing the same things for 2 or 3 years, and it's just a habit. We didn't really change any offense or defenses that we used last year and the year before, so that's made it rather easy for me also. And these kids are just a pleasure. These kids to coach.
Thank you so much, Ron Ferguson. I know you have other people to talk to. Our congratulations to you as the coach of the new champions. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Jim.
Ron Ferguson, the coach of this great ball club. Now let's meet some of these kids. Right here in the middle, holding the trophy, and I bet you're not going to let go of that for a while, is the most amazing young basketball player in America today, Quinn Buckner. Quinn, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
This is a dedicated bunch of players, and we have seen all of your team do some amazing things on a basketball floor. Do you have any signals that you work out, or do these things come natural to you?
Well, I guess it came natural after a while. You know, you have to play with these fellas. I've been playing with most of them for most of my life, so after a while it just becomes, like you said, natural.
Do you have any plans on where you're going to go to school? I talked to your girlfriend a bit earlier, and I guess you're going to be looking at a lot of colleges, aren't you?
Well, I don't know. I'll be looking around. I really don't know where I want to go, what I want to do right now. You know.
You have any idea what kind of career you want to follow?
No, not really. I got quite a few decisions to make in the next few weeks.
Well, Quinn, congratulations to you. You're just a great individual basketball star, and I know you're very proud of all your teammates, and we want to get to them, too, down the line. You hang on to the trophy. I know you'll want to keep good charge of that. This is Bill Gatlin, who is, I guess, kind of super sub because you're the 6th man on the squad, and you've seen a lot of action, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I could always get a little more action, but since we don't won the tournament, I'm very proud of this team, and next year I'll be hoping to come back here again in Halifax.
Well, you're going to get another shot at it. We may be talking to you next year at this time. You never know. Step on out here and let's find out who we have here. This is Ernie Dunn. You also are going to be joining this same ball club next year, aren't you, Ernie?
Yeah, I'll be back with you, follow.
I just mentioned to Ron Ferguson, your fine coach, that you should have the makings of a very fine ball club again next year because you have some good underclassmen helping you out.
Yeah, we have about most of our team was underclassmen, except the stars, 3 of the stars if I have, and the rest of them was underclassmen. I think we'll be back.
Well, good luck to you. And this fella here with a net around his shoulder is Greg Rose. And Greg, let's see, you had 26 points tonight. That's quite an effort.
Oh, thank you.
All of this great passing, it just amazed all of us as we watched you all weekend here in Champaign-Urbana. The lightning passes, and somebody remarked at game side, I believe Tom Kelly said that it's almost like handling a bullet when Quinn Buckner lets that ball go. Is that true?
Yes, sir. He passed great.
All righty. Well, let's move on along here. Where's Boyd Batts? Boyd, congratulations to you. What a great ball player you are. Well, this looks like Mutt and Jeff. Have you ever seen anything like this? I need a soapbox to stand up and talk to you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Have you made any decisions what you're going to do about college, Boyd?
Not yet.
You going to play any ball in the summer, or are you going to rest for a while?
Yeah, I think I'm still going to play ball, and I'm going to work out more. Well, you know, just keep myself in shape.
Do you have any hopes of maybe playing pro ball someday?
I hope so.
Well, you got a good start on it. Congratulations to you, young man. Here's Mike Bonsick, a little playmaking guard who does such a fine job. I met your family earlier. Your dad's horse, he can't talk. He's so proud of you.
Well, I wish my mother and my little brother could have made it down tonight. They're at home. My brother's sick, and my mom stay with him, and I'd just like to say hello to them.
He has the chicken pox, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we hope he gets well. Quickly get the other names here.
Joe King.
Ken Kramer.
Bill Redmond.
Fred Knudsen. Keith Hutchinson.
Dave Anderson.
All right, I don't want to miss anybody. Once again, I want to add my congratulations to the new state champions. They played well. It's a well-deserved honor. And now back to Tournament Central. Thank you, Tom. Last year, Illinois Bell celebrated its 20th year of bringing you the Illinois High School Association basketball tournament telecast. So we thought this would be a good time to reminisce and recap a few of those exciting championship games from the past 20 years. Most of our highlights are black and white film clips from past television broadcasts. The first IHSA telecast in 1952 was certainly historic, as Tiny Hebron became the only school ever to make it from a district tournament to a state title, beating Quincy 64-59 in the only championship game to go into overtime. Hebron, here in the dark uniforms, got some help in the fourth quarter when Quincy's great center, Bruce Brothers, number 32, in white, fouled out on this play. Hebron's Don Wilbrandt was knocked to the floor as he was shooting. Brothers scored 20 points before going out, and Quincy badly missed his shooting and rebounding in the overtime period. Here, with seconds remaining in that first and only championship overtime period, Paul Judson at the free throw line knew Hebron would be taking the state crown home. Final score, 64-59. 1955 saw West Rockford and Elgin in the title game as Old Huff Jim bulged once again with excitement. Another record went on the books that year as the West Rockford team scored 6 points in 1 second. That sounds impossible. Well, here's how it happened. That's Nolden Gentry with the ball. He shoots, and a split second later, he's fouled. The basket counts, and Gentry makes his free throw and bonus shot. 4 points so far. Now, before the clock starts, as Elgin tries to put the ball in play, an Elgin player runs into West Rockford's Rex Parker. The call is charging, and Parker comes to the line, makes the free throw and bonus. 6 points in an amazing 1 second of playing time. West Rockford won the game 61-59 in 1955 and came back in 1956 to win again, the only team in the past 20 years to win 2 consecutive tournaments. Carver came back to the 1963 tournament after a disappointing 1-point defeat in 62 at the hands of Decatur, even though Carver's Cassie Russell scored 24 points. Decatur's winning 1-point advantage came in the last 15 seconds of play in 1962. 1963's championship contest looked like another disappointing defeat for Carver. 30 seconds left in the final quarter of play, and the score Centralia 52, Carver 51. Centralia has the ball. 5'7" Carver reserve Tony Smedley intercepts and scores, thus turning the tables on their previous year's defeat. Carver wins in 1963 by 1 point, scored with only 8 seconds left to play. Final score, Carver 53, Centralia 52. Now here are the color videotape highlights from last year's championship game that saw Thornridge and Oak Lawn, both suburban teams, battle to an exciting finish. With Quinn Buckner leading the way, Thornridge, in dark uniforms, seemed to have Oaklawn on the ropes in the second quarter, taking a 10-point lead at one time. But Oaklawn, led by C.J. Kupek, fought back, cutting the halftime score to Thornridge 28, Oaklawn 23. Oaklawn came within 2 points in the final quarter, but Thornridge's defense was just too tough in those final moments. With a 2-point lead, they played carefully, working the ball into Buckner. And when he missed, super sub Mike Henry was there for the clincher on the way to a 52-50 victory and the state championship. Well, that gives you a look at some of the excitement witnessed over the past 20 years of the telecast. It has been a special treat for us to go back and look at some of the teams and players who have taken part in these classic championship games. It is a testimonial to the caliber of Illinois high school athletics when so many of the individual players have gone on to distinguish themselves in the college and pro ranks. It's been our pleasure to bring you these games, and we hope you've enjoyed sharing the highlights with us. Now back to Tom Kelly in Tournament Central.